Hello, 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 and welcome back to my old school essentials solo RPG campaign, Times of Adventure. In the last session, we had the party go back into the dungeon and continue exploration. They encountered quite a couple of goblins, killed them all. None of them died, which is very good. And they are on a second level in this room, and they pretty much ran from this corridor because they heard that people are assembling behind that door, and it's probably going to be a couple more. And this also means the elf and the mage are quite intelligent. They are inferring from that it's probably going to be either something like a barracks, or maybe the main room where all of them are, whatever. But it's definitely going to be a couple more goblins that are coming out of here. After around 10 minutes, the door opens. Like, they hear that the door opens through the dungeon. And they see after a couple more minutes, they see a very faint light come shining from the corridor, and it's getting stronger and stronger, meaning the goblins that are coming, they have a torch. Let's see how many they are. I'm going to roll 2d6. It's 9 goblins. They're looking with the mirror around the corner, and they see these goblins. So I'm going to say it's a 65% chance that they split up, and some of them are moving right, some of them are moving left. They are splitting up. All right, let's roll a d6 to see how many are going into the direction of the party. 3 only. Okay, so 3 are going towards the right from our point of view. The other 6 are going left. Okay, I'm going to split them up in 2 groups. I have them start here, and I'm going to start combat now, and I'm going to say the party can't be surprised because they heard them. And let's see if the goblins are surprised. 2 and 6 chance, 1 and 2 they are surprised. They are not. I am going to get the battle mat ready and going to see if the thief can maybe backstab one of them at least. Alrighty, so that's the situation. They are all hiding behind these pillars, so the goblins can't see them as they come in. Okay, so the thief, actually, as I said, they are going to do the smart thing. So I'm going to move the thief actually here. And he is going to wait and see if the goblins, like where they are moving, if they just move further into the room. And they have a torch, so they can see. But this also stops their infravision, meaning they can't see the heat signatures anymore. I'd say the chance is really high that they stay together. So I'm going to say everything, only 1 to 30 on a d100 is that they split up. They stay together. So they move into the room. And I'm just going to start combat now. So we're also going to roll for initiative. So the monsters go first. So they move into the room. They're full speed, 10, 20 feet. And now I'm going to see, they are all going to really quietly move around these pillars to stay out of sight for the goblins. And I'm going to roll 3d6, and there's a 1 in 6 chance for every goblin that they can hear them moving. Okay, 2 of them, as they move around, 2 of them hear movement behind the pillars. But as I said, goblins aren't necessarily very intelligent, so I'm going to give them a 40% chance that they call the other goblins. So 1 to 40 is they call out for the other goblins instantly. They do not. Okay, so they hear these movements, but they can't do much anyway now, and I'm going to check, because it's not their turn, they had their move already in this turn, so I'm going to say that Eva is going to try and sneak up on them and stab one in the back. I'm going to to determine where they heard the movement from. I'm just going to say 1 and 2 is this, 3 and 4 is this, 5 and 6 is this, 7 and 8 is this. On a d8. They heard it from here. Alrighty. So you see them move around as these goblins start moving in that direction, so they can't see them, and they are hiding here. That's the mage. That's going to be dangerous if she gets into melee combat. Okay, so Eva can easily get there. He can move 40, so 10, 20, 30, 40. He can get there. These goblins are now a bit distracted from that direction. And remember, everything happens simultaneously. So while the goblins went first because they had initiative, it's still all happening simultaneously. So let's say after 3 seconds of their turn, they hear this and they start moving into this direction. And also their focus changes on there. So he can come from behind. Alrighty, so Ever has a 20% chance on level 1 to move silently, which is not very high. So let's see if he can manage to move over there silently. 20% chance. Okay, he manages to do so. Wow. So he moves over silently, and I'm going to say for this turn, only the halfling Ever grubbers can move, but they can shoot. Because, like, he takes a while to go over there. And this time, these 10 seconds will be over. They will not have time to move in and engage in melee. So they get only a chance to move out of cover and then shoot. Okay, so Ever manages to go there silently. He is behind that goblin now. They can't hear him. When he wants to backstab, he gains a +4 bonus of, like, if he tries to attack an unaware opponent, and that is unaware, so he gets a +4. He is going to attack with the dagger. He has no melee bonus, so he has to roll a 13 to hit armor class 6, and 13 minus 4 is 9, so he has to roll a 9. He backstabs them, that goblin, and the damage is doubled. So it's a d4 with the dagger. So he deals 4 damage and instantly kills the goblin. So he comes from behind and in the back, and the goblin is dead. The other 2 goblins turn around, and I'd say now the other step out. We have Artist just makes 1 step to the right and then takes the short bow and shoots. He has to roll a 14. And he hits for 1d6 damage. 1 damage, so Goblin 4 takes 1 damage. And then we have Argeth. She's going to shoot her hand crossbow. She gets a -1. But she hits the goblin for 1d4 damage. And the goblin is dead. She hits this one. That one is dead. And that's the turn. No one else is shooting. Let's see who has initiative. The party has initiative. And Ever is going to move in. Artis is going to move in. Argeth 2. And Vince's as well. They all have enough movement speed. Okay, we go counterclockwise, starting at Vince's. He doesn't hit. Ever doesn't hit. Artist doesn't hit, and Argeth also doesn't hit. Okay, now the goblin gets a morale, and I put the morale on 3. They run. So she dodges and runs here. And now it's the next round. Who has initiative? She has initiative, the goblin. So they run further. That's 20 feet. So she's out of the room already. Ever is going to turn around. He has his crossbow loaded. He's going to try and kill her. He hits her for 6 damage, and the goblin is dead. Alrighty. So those were, I think, 3 turns. Through the fighting and the clamor of weapons, the other orcs have, the other goblins have turned around. And they had 2 turns. So they got up to here. I'm going to put the map again. Just going to take her away. They got up to here. And then they turned around because they heard the fighting. So they can move 20 feet per turn. So that is 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. So when the 3 goblins died in the room, the other 6 goblins were here. So they've definitely seen the fighting. And I guess there's no time to hide. And even if the goblins would see that, because they have torches and there's a burning torch on the ground from one of the goblins, so they can see where they are. So I guess it's going to be the same thing again. We said That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where the goblins were. Okay. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 feet away from the entrance. They have no archer, and they see the 3 dead goblins on the ground. So I'm going to say there is a 50 chance that they are going to not go into the room. I'm going to roll a d100. Everything up to 50 is they are probably going to rush back into that room and gather with the other goblins that are in there, if they are born. And they do not. They just continue. They are stupid. They want to avenge their comrades, whatever, and they just rush into the room. Okay. So they are standing as they are. We're going to have the same thing again. They are going to... let's see who has initiative. The goblins have. So they move up 20 feet. They are now 40 feet away. And you see Vince's turn around, and they all turn around and gather up, and they're going to start shooting. Now, Ever has to reload, so he can't shoot in this round. He's just going to reload. The others can't shoot. He is going to move over here, 10, 20, 30. He's going to stand here. He can see one of the goblins too. And we have our cleric. She is just going to move up here. She was somewhere here below, so I'd say she's here. And they are going to shoot. So they are 40 feet away, meaning that Artis has no bonus for his short bow, and he has a -1 from his dexterity. So he has to roll a 14 to hit them. He does not. Ever is reloading. We have Vince here. He only has a javelin, and he doesn't want to throw that one towards the goblins. If he doesn't hit, they might use it to throw it back. Those two, Argeth has to, she gets a -2 because she also has -1 from dexterity, meaning she has to roll a 15 to hit the goblin. And she hits one for 1d4 damage. That's 2 damage. And then we have the leader, he has to roll 14. And he doesn't hit, he rolls a 10. Okay. Next round, we go first. Okay, so they're going to shoot them. Ever actually acts last in the round because I just saw that by accident actually. The crossbow has the slow property, so he's always going to act last in the round. Doesn't, like, no matter if he won initiative or not. Okay, so the rest is going to shoot again. We have Artis, he has to hit a 14 to hit the goblins. And he does, 14 for 1d6 damage. And, well, it's 6 goblins. I didn't say which one he hits, so I'm just going to roll this d6. He hits goblin 1, and so that one is dead, because that was the one that was hit before. So it's only 5 goblins. And now we have these two. They're just going to shoot, and she's going to move up as well. So she is there. She has a sling, and she can shoot with the sling as well. And she actually gets a 0. So she's going to shoot as well. The leader, he has to hit a 13. He doesn't. Argeth has to hit a 14. She doesn't. And Thunder also has to hit a 13, I think. Well, actually, she has to hit a 12 because she has a +1 from her dexterity. And she doesn't hit. Okay. So now it's the goblin's turn. No, it's Ever's. No, yeah, it's the goblin's turn because Ever can only shoot last. So we have 5 goblins left, and they are now at the door. They arrive at the door, and this is the next round. Tie. They go first. Okay, so I think they are going to choose the target that is closest. Yeah, it's going to be the leader. He gets 4 goblins around them. Let's say 3, and the other one is going to take care, or is going to attack Argeth. And then we have that one. That one can only get to here. Okay, so it's going to stay here behind them. Okay, so the goblins have to hit a 14 to be actually able to hit the leader. So no hit. That hits for d6. That's 1 damage, so he has 3 HP left. Then we have one more. And that one doesn't hit. And then we have one that is attacking Argeth. And that is no hit. She has an armor class of 6. Okay. Now it's the party's turn, and they're going to surround the goblins. Just going to move in. And I'm actually having, like Ever will stay here. He will just shoot. And then Thunder is going to move. He's moving here, and Thunder is going to move here. So there is this lane for Ever to shoot Goblin 4. He's moving last. Wen is going to move out here, and now we are just going to attack these goblins in counterclockwise order. So we have Artis. He's going to attack this one because Ever says, I'm going to shoot number 4. He doesn't know that's number 4, but whatever. Artis doesn't hit. Now Thunder. She also doesn't hit. Vince's doesn't hit. Argeth hits with a greatsword for 5 damage. The goblin is dead. And then we have the leader. He's going to attack goblin number 2, I think. He hits him for a d8. 7 damage. The goblin is dead. And then we have Ever. He's going to shoot Goblin 4. He gets a +2, so he only needs to roll a 11. And, well, an 11. He hits the Goblin for 1d6, and the Goblin is dead. All right. Now we have the next turn. Initiative. The Goblins get a morale check. Since, well, 3 of them just died, and 1 of them died even before they got out of the room. I think I'm going to set their morale to 3 or 4. Everything higher than 4 is going to be a surrender or flee. So they will try and flee. Alrighty, they are fleeing, meaning they turn around and they run 20 feet. He gets to here and she gets just out of the room. Now it's the party's turn. They follow them, and Ever has to reload, so you can't attack. Okay, so now we have, going from left to right, Artis. He hits for the d6. That is 1 damage on Goblin 5. Then we have Vince's. He does not have a hit. Nope. Thunder. She hits for... She has a Warhammer. That's a d6. 3 damage and the Goblin is dead. And then we have Argeth. She hits as well. She rolls a 20. And she hits with a d8 for a longsword. 2 damage on Goblin 3. So it only has 1 HP left. And then we have the leader. He hits. Oh, wow, another crit. He hits as well for 6 damage, and the Goblin is dead. So they just killed another 9 goblins. It was actually pretty smart, hiding here and then trying to backstab that one. Actually worked out pretty well. He only has a 20% chance to move silently, and he made it, so that's quite an awesome feat. Okay, so that is another 6 goblins, so that's another 30 experience. And that's also 12d6 electron pieces these goblins have on them. We have 5 here, so that is 9, 12, 16, 18. 20, 22, 26, 30, 34, and it's 2 more. 40, 43 electron pieces. To see if there's a wandering monster. Nope. Alrighty, I'm going to remove the battle mat, and then we're going to continue. Okay, so they have slaughtered in total 39 goblins in these 2 days. I know that there are only 2 more normal goblins. The rest is a goblin king and 9 bodyguards. And the Goblin King also has a dire move. As you can see, there's a throne here. That's a throne room for the Goblin King. King, so to speak. And these 2 doors are open, obviously. These 2 doors are closed, this one and this one. And since they know that all of these goblins seem to be coming out of that room, they will not go up here, but see what is in this room. And they're going to move just through the dungeon slowly, 60 feet per turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they get to here. They check for traps as they move. That's why they move so slowly. Let's see if they get a wandering monster. Yes, there is a wandering monster. Let's see in which turn that monster comes. In the first turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd say as they move here, they just meet here because around the corner come these 2 more goblins and that wolf that is missing. That's pretty much the only thing that can come here now because as just said, the goblin king will not leave this room. They come around the corner, meaning it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 40 feet away. Let's see if like one side is surprised. Red is the monsters and surprise is a 1 and a 2. No one is surprised. I get the battle map ready. So I set up the battle map and that's the situation. They are 40 feet apart. They are 40 feet apart and see each other and it's instantly combat. Let's see. Now initiative. The monsters have initiative. Okay. The wolf is instantly going up. Let's see whom he attacks. 1, 2, 3 is the elf. 4, 5, 6 is the dwarf. Gonna go on the dwarf. Very good because she has the highest armor class. And it's going to attack. So the wolf attacks with a THAC0 of 17. To hit armor class 3, the wolf needs to roll a 14. And he rolls a 15. So the damage for the wolf is 1 bite per round, and it's a 1d6 damage. She has only 2 HP left, so we see. Wow. She goes down to 1 HP. The goblins are going to take the other, like the leader. They're going to both attack him. Okay, so he has armor class of 5. They need a 14 to hit that. No hit. And no hit. They both miss. Okay, so now it's the other. Now it's the party. They are just going to move around them. They're going to surround them like this. And okay, so now she can't get past. And the mage is going to move as far back, like 30 feet back. And he's going to move up here so they can all attack. Let's just go counterclockwise, starting with Argeth. She misses. He misses as well. He needs to roll a 13. Thunder and the wolf. She misses. Artis hits the wolf with a short sword for 1d6 damage. That's 6 damage, very good. It has 5 damage left, 5 HP left. Let's see how Evo rolls. He doesn't hit, and Vince's hits. He is using a short sword as well for 1d6, and the wolf is dead. Wow. Now I'm going to roll initiative because the turn is over. And the monsters have initiative, so they are probably going to run. I say their morale rating, I put it down to 5 because it's really, yeah, they are surrounded pretty much. So they are running. They move back 10, 20 feet, but the party is obviously going to pursue, so nothing really changes. They are surrounded again, and they take a -2 because they are running. So we go counterclockwise, starting with the elf. He doesn't hit. Thunder hits with a warhammer for 1d6. The goblin is dead. Alright, that means they can't attack anymore because the goblin is too far. And then we have Vince's. He is going to attack with a short sword, and he misses. Next round, the party has initiative. Argeth is moving in here, and it's just going to attack again. The elf misses. Thunder hits for 4 damage, and the goblin is dead. Alrighty. So that is 35 XP. and 46 electrum pieces from the goblins. It's going to be 8, 10, and 11. It would have been smart to maybe capture one of the goblins and ask what's going on. I guess it's too late for that now. So yeah, they could have taken one captive and interrogated them and maybe found out what is happening in that room over there. But I didn't think of it, so they didn't think of it, and it's too late now. I'm going to get back the dungeon map. So we are back on the dungeon map. The cleric is really low on HP, so she is definitely going to move back in the marching order back to probably all the way to the end. So she is not the first one to be encountered if they should encounter something else. What they don't know is that the dungeon is pretty much empty now. Only a king, a direwolf, and 9 bodyguards. The question is just how are they going to continue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They move in here and they check along the way for traps. They find that the air in this room is really thick and heavy. It almost smells like, well, animals were living here. There are like straw and cloth beds in the southern corners here and here. So it seems that the goblins had some kind of sleeping room, bedroom here. While all the other doors were made out of stone, this one is made out of wood and it's really crude, and there is the skull of an elk mounted on it. So it seems to be a special room behind that, and this door has definitely been put in by the goblins. And they also see, again, at the walls, pictures of warriors fighting, training, feasting together, and every now and then this woman holding a shield and a sword. They take 1 turn to search the room, or let's say they take 2 turns to search the room because it's quite big. Wandering monster. No monster. Now the elf is going to go listen again. Let's see if he hears something. And I'm going to give it a 3 in 6 chance because, I mean, there's a wolf in there. There is a goblin in there, like 10 goblins in there, and they are probably quite, well, afraid by now. I think so, because like none of the goblins have come back after 10-20 minutes. So, he hears nothing. It's really quiet in there. I'm interpreting this as that the goblins are hiding and they are trying to not make any sound. It's a difficult question what they would do. Again, it's my first solo campaign, so they know that this door is probably closed as well. They have seen that there's light in there because it has been shining out when before they were here and someone came out here, they saw light coming out of the room. I mean, there's only 2 ways, like 2 basic ways to handle this. They can wait, because at some point something has to come out, like they have to come out, or they will starve. Or try and bash that door open and maybe surprise a couple of them and then see what happens. Let's see. I'd say the like charging in is a bit more likely because waiting could take days and they don't know how many are there. That's really a thing. They don't know how many are in there. So maybe there are 20 goblins in there and they just charge into their own death. I think they're going to wait. They're not going to be stupid enough to just charge in there and maybe run into a death trap, because there could be literally a pit behind the door with spikes. They don't know. Just because we can see the map, it doesn't mean that they know what's in there. So they're going to wait. They're going to gather here. They're going to eat something and drink something, though the smell is ridiculous in here. They're going to take at least 2 turns. It's going to be a wandering monster encounter. If that one brings us a monster, it's going to be... So I would say after 20 more minutes, you have to see they killed them. These goblins here died around 40-50 minutes ago. The goblins and the wolf, 40-50 minutes ago. So it's roughly an hour. And now the door opens, and I think they hear someone yell in goblin, or in really broken common. They yell, "Whoever you are, leave now, or you will die. We are 10 men in here, and a large wolf, and you have no idea who you're messing with. I am King Ukrak. If you leave now, we will spare your life. If not, you will die." Let's see if this was impressive. I'd say there is a 30% chance that they are impressed. Here's a goblin. Probably a really loud, like high-pitched, creaky voice. 30% chance that they are impressed. They are not. Okay. You hear The elf Lennon replies back, "We are not afraid of some puny goblins. We have killed 40 of your men, and you will be the next, you vile marauders. You have defaced this shrine, and you will pay for it." He's a lawful paladin. He will not let that slide. Though he doesn't know who that goddess was or is, but everything seems to point to a benevolent goddess, because what they see on the walls doesn't look like the stuff that you usually find in shrines for evil gods. And then they hear this voice again, and it says, "You have chosen your fate. You must die." And then they just hear, "Rrr!" And 10 goblins and a direwolf come running out of that room. And I'm going to bring up the battle map, and then maybe going to have the last fight for this dungeon. So I assembled these goblins here. It's 9 of them plus a king. It's the same mini, just K instead of a number. And there's the direwolf. And I'm going to say that the party had enough time to... They are not all going to be standing here, because they know that they can hear that these are a bit like a couple more creatures, not just 2 or 3 or maybe just 1 of them. They can hear that. So they have split up. Obviously, the mage is going to be far away, so she's going to be standing here. The leader is obviously going to be right in the front, together with him. Cleric is going to stand further away. She has very little HP left. She's very weak. Vincent is going to be at the forefront, and Argeth 2. She's going to be standing here. They can hide a bit behind these. I'd say they give like, if they are shot, but they don't have many like ranged weapons anyway, so they can't really shoot them. And Ever is going to be somewhere a bit further away, but still in range, so he can shoot his crossbow. And they prepare, and then you have this dialogue we had before, and the goblins come running in. So they pretty much are in this formation. I'm not going to see how far they ran into the room, so just going to roll a d6 and see how many squares they ran in before we start combat. 6 squares, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just where they are. Awesome. So I'm going to roll initiative. And the party has initiative. Alrighty, and I'm going to retcon one thing. Our wizard, or our magic user, Wen, and their leader have talked about that she's going to use the sleep spell. As soon as they come running in, she's going to use the sleep spell, and she's going to do that. They have initiative, which is really lucky. 240 yards, feet range for sleep. They have a torch, so they can see, so she can see them. And Artis is holding a torch as well, so there's light everywhere. And it's 2d8. So we're going to choose. I'm going to choose the goblins. All the goblins are going to be put to sleep. I hope. We're going to just roll 2d8 to see how many we can put to sleep. Let's hope it's 10 or more. That's a 6. And that's an 8. So 14, meaning all the goblins go to sleep. That leaves the dire wolf. Like all of the others are going to move as far back as they can. So Wen is going to move 40 feet back, 10, 20, 30, 40. And that is before she is casting the spell. The spell has 240 feet range. That is more than enough to cover that. Eva is going to move here. All the goblins are sleeping. Now it's the wolf's turn. A dire wolf is moving in combat with 50 feet. So he can move 10, 20, 30, 40, and he gets to Vince's 50. All right. He is going to attack with a THAC0 of 15. That is really high. With a 10, he hits armor class 5. Let's hope he doesn't hit. D20 for the wolf. And it's a 9. Wow. Vince's barely dodges the attack, but is not being bitten by the wolf. We have next round. The wolf is going to go first, and he's straight going to attack Vince's again. And he misses again. Oh my god. Okay. And they are now all going to surround the wolf. And then Eva is going to shoot his crossbow, and Wen is not going to do anything. He's just going to move a bit further away even. So now we're going to attack. We're going to start with Artis, counterclockwise. He doesn't hit. The elf doesn't hit. Oh no, we're going to do ranged first. He goes last, but she goes first. So those two missed. Going to have her. She misses as well. Let's see, Argeth misses 2, and then Vinces, he misses as well. Vinces actually hits him. Yeah, he rolls a 13 plus 1 is a 14. And the wolf has an armor class of 6. So that is a hit for Vinces. Vinces has a short sword, so that's a d6. And that is 6 damage again. Wow. So the wolf only has 14 HP left. And now we have Ever. He has a +1 from range, a +1 from dexterity. So he only has to roll a 11 to hit him. And he rolls a 15. That's a hit. A d6 for the crossbow. 3 more damage. Next round. Maybe they're lucky and the wolf goes last. The wolf goes first. And he's going to attack Vinces again. With a d20. That's a 14. Yeah, that's a hit. And now we see that the damage is 2d4 for the dire wolf. And Vinces has 3 HP left, so statistically he's dead. Or at least he has to make a saving throw. That's 4 damage. So from that hit already, Vinces goes down. He has to make a saving throw. Against death is 12. So he rolls a d20. If he rolls a 12 or higher, he saves against death. If not, he is dead. And he saves. Holy cow. He's down. Going to lie him down. He's lying on the ground. He has a huge bite mark on his right arm. Blood is seeping out. And now it's the party's turn. So they're just going to do the same stuff. Ever's going to reload. He can't shoot this round. The others are attacking. She's going to move in close as well. Alrighty. D20 for Artis. That's a hit. He's going to roll a d6 for his short sword. 5 damage. Leaves the wolf at 6. Now we have the elf. He hits as well for a d8 damage. The longsword, that is 7 damage. And that kills the wolf. The wolf is dead. They instantly go to Vinces and give him, they have a first aid pack. The cleric is going to apply like milk of the poppy, which is in there, and that just stabilizes him and also makes his pain go away. So he's sleeping now for 3d6 hours. So he's sleeping for 8 hours. And the milk of the poppy is an item of mine. It makes transporting incapacitated people a lot easier because they are sleeping. The rest is going to over and they're going to murder all the goblins. So the goblins are all dead. They are murdered in their sleep. So they get 125 experience from the wolf. For the goblins, they get, for each bodyguard, they get 20 XP. So that's 180. And for the king, they get 35. Then we do the electrum pieces. That is 20 d6 to see how much electrum pieces they have. They have 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 18, 23, 25, 28, 29, 30, 32, 34, 38, 44, 48, 52, 54. 57 electrum pieces. I'm going to get rid of the battle mat, so we see the dungeon map again. They are going to now move. It's the next turn as well, so they're just going to spend a turn resting. Then they spend another 2 turns to get into this room. So in this room, they find the following. There is a heavy door. It's made out of iron, and it's here. And it's engraved with a shield and a sword. And there's also smaller pictures around these of a woman wielding this shield and sword in battle. There are 2 crude wooden doors. One is here, one is here. And there's a throne. And then we have 2 chests here in the corner. But they are all broken and empty. What they also find here is chained to the wall an elf. So the elf has a 80% chance to be alive. I rolled 100 and the elf is dead. The elf is a ranger who was guarding the eastern, or well, the southern weald. I think the dungeon is here or here, and the southern weald is this piece of forest. And he was like ranging this, keeping it in order, whatever a ranger does. They cut his like the ropes that tie him, and they're going to leave him there, but take him out of the dungeon and back to Rydale. So this door here is closed, but it can be opened by force. But there's also another way to open that door. If you like remember, on the first floor of the dungeon, there was this, let's say, oath inscribed into the wall in this one room. With justice and might, we serve the oppressed and shatter the chains that hold them. The magic user Wendile has 15 intelligence, and I'm going to roll a d100 and see if she connects this. She sees this door. It looks like a door. It's like really standing out compared to the other doors. Either stone doors or these two crude wooden doors. We have these engravings. The door is made out of iron. Maybe she gets that connection that if she repeats that oath, the door is going to open. And I'm going to say it's likely that she does it because she is very intelligent. So I'm going to say it's a 65% chance. And she does that. So the two fighters are already on the door trying to push it open, try to force it open. And she's going to say, wait, I have an idea. And she says, with justice and might, we serve the oppressed and shatter the chains that hold them. And the door opens on its own. It's just open and they can go through. In this room, they will find in the center on a mezzanine surrounded by mostly crumbled stairs stands a large stone coffin. There's an inscription on the coffin, and it says, "Here lies Evan Wenhold, hero of the order and protector of the realm against the forces of chaos." There are 3 smaller coffins surrounding the big one. They go to the tomb, and this room seems to be like a, let's say, like a last resting place for a hero of this order of Ilariel, I guess. I guess the paladin could have something against opening the thing, but since it's not his order, it's unlikely that he's going to say something against that. So I'd say everything to a 35 on D100 is he says no, we don't, and above he says yes. That's a 42, so they say yes. And they open the tomb, and they find 730 gold pieces inside. There is like a small sack next to a skeleton. There's also a long sword and a shield. The paladin says we take the gold, but we leave the shield and the weapon and the armor because the skeleton is in armor as well. So they take the 730 gold pieces, and with that, they have cleared the dungeon. There's nothing else left. The only thing they will do is they will go in here because they haven't really explored like this room. They remember we haven't searched this room, and we're going to do this before we are leaving. So they take these 730 gold pieces and they split them up. They are going to move slower now because they have to carry 2 people, the dead elf and their unconscious party member Vinces. So they're going to move with 40 feet per turn. So they take 10 turns to get down there, and they rest a bit as well, and then they arrive there. Now they're going to take, let's say, 4 turns to search the room, 2 turns. And the elf is going to do his thing again, and he is going to check all the corners and the walls for secret doors. There is one here. Let's see if he finds that. He has a 2 in 6 chance. He does not find the door, just for you. There are stairs up. When they, I actually forgot that, when they searched the king, the goblin king, they found a set of keys, or 1 key they found, and if they would go up these stairs, they would eventually arrive at a gate, which is in a small fracture cave and around 400-500 yards off of the main entrance towards the north. They find nothing here, and then they go out. So they are here. That is 1 turn, 2 turns, 3, 4, 5, 6, then they need, that is another hour, and then they're going up. I'd say 2 turns. They used 1 turn when they got down, so 2 turns when they go up. Okay, now I'm just going to put the map of the first level there. Alrighty, they arrive here, so they're just going to go 12 turns to get to the exit. Okay, so they arrive at the exit, and they actually wait there. And just 2 of them go to the camp. Let's see if they have an encounter in front of the dungeon. No encounter. Everything is quiet, and it is now 7, 8 in the evening, so it's dark already. And they quickly go to the camp, 2 of them, and they get the retainer and also the 2 hirelings. They are going to help carry the dead elf, the wounded party member Vince's and also the treasure they found, and they're going to carry that back to the camp. And then I'd say they just make a rest for the day and sleep overnight. So they sleep until the following day and they pack their bags. It's the 2nd of January now. Okay, and they are going to try and get back to Rydale on the next day. So the dungeon was here and they need to get back to Rydale. It's in the morning, they get up, and let's see if they are lost. 2 in 6 chance. They are lost, so they start by walking in the wrong direction. Let's see, 1d6 for the direction. They move here. They can only move 2 more hexes, so they get to the grasslands. Let's see if they have an encounter. It's a 1 in 6 chance. No encounter. Alrighty, the next day goes over. They try and forage, 1 in 10 chance. Nope. And the next day, are they lost? Nope. And now they can move their full speed, because in OSE, like river hexes, they don't slow you down. And they can move 4 hexes a day. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That means just out of Rydale, they manage to, they have to stop again. Do they have an encounter? They have not. They try to forage. They find nothing. And on this day, they just make it home. Alrighty. Their first adventure is over. They lost 1 person, which is very bad. They found another dead person in the dungeon, so they have to find out who that is. And yeah, that was pretty good. They only lost 1 person, which I would call a definite success. So I would say I stop here. I'm going to update the party sheets and the experience. They didn't get too much, a bit from the combat and a bit from treasure. But for their first adventure, that was pretty good. And when they are going to go on their next one, then they also have a couple more maps to choose from, not just 1 as they had for this adventure. And I really thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these episodes with the Shrine of Ilariel and the Lanterns of Selig going on their first adventure. If you liked what you saw, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I would say see you next time at Times of Adventure. Bye bye.